Hey guys! Welcome to Couple. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. A similar effort by the backers of Calexit failed last year after negative fallout emerged following the disclosure that its leader, Louis J. Marinelli, was living in Russia. Marinelli, who is still listed as one of the backers of the measure, said in an interview he travels to Russia and has worked there from time to time but is still a resident of California. If the current Calexit measure gets enough signatures to qualify, it would result in a special election in 2021 to ask California voters whether the state should become an independent country. The backers have until mid-October to get almost 366,000 signatures of registered voters to qualify it for the ballot. Long shot effort, however, some analysts suggest the secession effort has a long shot passing. A Berkeley IGS poll released in March 2017 found Californians oppose independence from the U.S. by more than 2 to 1. There'll be a lot of notoriety, there will be a lot of publicity, but I think in practical terms it's going to fizzle out, said Seth Koplowitz, a finance lecturer at San Diego State University. It would be ridiculous to secede from the union. The only person who would probably be happy about that is probably Donald Trump. There have been more than 200 attempts throughout California's history to split it up the state. Sixth largest economy in the world. Some argue that California, the sixth largest economy in the world, already has essentially acted like a separate country by signing agreements, or memorandums of understanding, with nations on issues as well as climate change. For example, Democratic Governor Jerry Brown signed an agreement last year to work with China to fight climate change. That move came a week after Trump announced his intention for the U.S. to withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord. California's state leaders also have taken a different view from the Trump administration when it comes to issues including offshore oil drilling, undocumented immigration, healthcare, federal lands. War with the Trump administration. Earlier this month, the Trump administration filed a lawsuit against California's so-called sanctuary state laws aimed at protecting undocumented immigrants. In response, Brown said, "This is basically going to war against the state of California, the engine of the American economy." Play video. Trump reviews border wall prototypes in California. More than 30 lawsuits have been filed between California and the federal government since Trump was sworn into office in January 2017. Trump, who has called California out of control, sought to cut law enforcement funds over the sanctuary policies in the state last year, but a court ruled against the administration. Getting shortchanged regardless, Evans contends that Californians don't get their fair share of federal spending for the money paid by taxpayers in the Golden State. Figures from the Conservative Tax Foundation show California got back an estimated 78 cents on each dollar paid in 2005 to the federal government, while Alabama received $1.66 and Kentucky got $1.51. Evans maintains that if California were an independent nation, it could eliminate bureaucracy by half and cut overall taxes for businesses and individuals. Koplowitz doesn't buy the argument that an independent California would necessarily help business. Everybody is leaving California because they're overtaxed by the state, he said. Businesses are leaving, people are moving to Washington state and Texas and the other states that don't have an income tax. Splitting California in three. Meantime, there's also a measure backed by Silicon Valley billionaire Tim Draper to split California into 3 separate states. Draper's plan would create a Northern California state that includes San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and Sacramento, a Southern California state with San Diego, the Inland Empire counties, and portions of the state's southern Central Valley. A third state would retain the name California and include Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, and several other counties along the coast. All this is basically saying is that we're really not one state, we're so large and we really have 3 different personalities, said Koplowitz. Therefore, each personality should be its own state. The reality is that you can say that about virtually any state. November ballot. Draper, chairman of the so-called Cal 3 campaign, announced earlier this month his group planned to submit more than 600,000 signatures, or nearly twice the amount required by law, to qualify for the November 6th ballot. Cal 3 is committed to solving California's most pressing issues, including the state's failing school systems that impact more than 6 million kids, highest in the nation taxes, deteriorating infrastructure, and strained government, the group said recently. Partitioning California into 3 states would empower regional communities to make better, fairer, and more sensible decisions for their citizens. This isn't the first time Draper has sought to split up California. He backed a 2014 effort to break up California into 6 states, but despite spending more than $5 million on the measure, it failed to qualify for the ballot. Even if Draper's group gets enough signatures this time, though, it still won't be easy to split up the state, which joined the union in 1850. The legislature would need to give its consent along with Congress. Creating a new California at the same time, there's a new California conservative movement that seeks to carve out rural counties into the 51st state. But this isn't a ballot initiative. The group is lining up support in counties and then hopes to take it to the legislature and then Congress. So far, the group claims to have at least 38 of the state's 58 counties. People are really disenchanted with what they're seeing in Sacramento, said Paul Preston, vice chair of the New California movement. He complained that the controversial sanctuary state law along with state overregulation are just some of the concerns fueling interest in the split. We'll have 49 counties at the end of this, said Preston. We want this to be a win-win for California and New California. But Koplowitz said having California split into 3 separate states or even a 51st state would be unruly and chances of it happening anytime soon are slim to none.